Today I'm making the strongest character in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe. Stronger than Gojo and stronger than Sukuna. Our character will be so powerful that not even Gojo or Sukuna could beat him in a 1v2. Now, let's get into it. First, we need to talk about some rules. Well, I guess the only rule here is that we can only pick a character's trait once. Alright, so every character in Jujutsu Kaisen needs a form of potential. The following candidates for this character trait is gotta be Megumi and Yuji. Megumi's potential was so good that even Sukuna seen his potential. He is also able to use the 10 shadow technique, which takes so much cursed energy to do. And Yuji, who is supposed to die after eating Sukuna's fingers and end up staying alive. So whose potential do I pick here? Well, none of these. Because the one character who I'm going to pick for potential is Yuta. It was stated by Gojo himself that Yuta has enough potential to become even stronger than himself. Yuta is also able to control a cursed spirit named Rika, who has infinite cursed energy. Our character now has the potential of Yuta. Now, let's give our character a good summon. And we got 10 to choose from, which is the 10 shadow technique that Megumi has. We got the Great Serpent, we got Divine Dogs, we got Max Elephant. But all those are absolute garbage compared to this summon. And that's right, you guessed it. It is Maharaga. Maharaga's main ability is that he can adapt to any attack. Such as, if you're going to punch him, he's going to learn that you're going to do that again, and then he's going to adapt, and then if you try punching him again, he will dodge or do something else. And also, if we have Maharaga, we get all the 10 shadow techniques. Our character now has to summon Maharaga and all the other shadow techniques. Now, our character will need an insane set of raw strength. Our first candidate, we have Toji, who has literally no curse energy at all, and yet killed Gojo, even though he was one of the strongest sorcerers in the world. However, I want to use Toji for another trait. Moving on to our next candidate is Todo. Todo is literally able to fight against other Jujutsu sorcerers without his curse techniques, with only using his raw strength alone. But again, I want to use Todo for another trait. Leaving our last candidate, and the one I'm going to choose, Yuji Itadori. Because bro was literally fighting against cursed spirits before he even knew how to use cursed energy. Our character now has the raw strength of Yuji Itadori. Alright, for our next trait is speed. And our first candidate will be Sukuna. Sukuna was literally able to bypass Gojo's infinity, ultimately killing Gojo in the process. However, I want to use Sukuna for a later trait. But for this next character, I am definitely picking is Jogo. Jogo was literally able to square off against Gojo, one of the fastest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Our character now has the speed of Jogo. Now, our character will need some abilities. And who am I gonna pick? Well, Gojo, duh! Gojo has the 6 Eyes, Limitless Void, Reverse Curse Technique. He has the blue, the red, hollow purple. He has Infinity. He has all that stuff. And now, they all belong to our character. For our next trait is Intelligence. And there are lots of characters to choose from. We have Gojo, but we already picked him, so we can't use Gojo. Next is Megumi, however we already used him for Maharaga, leaving us with Nanami. And I don't blame it. Nanami's actually pretty smart. Not only smart, he's also wise. Our character now has the intelligence of Nanami. Moving on, we have Battle IQ. So we have Sukuna as our first candidate, who's 1,000 years old. Again, saving Sukuna for a later trait. But the character who I'm picking is Todo. Todo, time and time again, literally was able to catch up a plan in less than 5 minutes. He even states himself that he has 530,000 IQ. Our character now has the battle intelligence of Todo. Next, let's give our character a weapon, or we should call it a cursed tool. Our first tool, we have the Sword of Extermination used by Maharaga. It emits positive cursed energy that deals more damage to cursed spirits. However, since we already used Maharaga, we cannot pick the Sword of Extermination. Another cursed tool that we should consider is the Komutuke, wielded by Sukuna. Its ability is that it's able to manifest giant bolts of lightning. However, I want to use Sukuna for a later trait. So what cursed tool am I going to use, you might ask yourself? And that is the Inverted Spear of Heaven, wielded by Toji Fushiguro. Its ability is that it can nullify curse techniques, making it an extremely broken curse tool. Our character now wields the Inverted Spear of Heaven. Moving on, our character will need a ton of cursed energy if he wants to pull anything off. A candidate that we should consider is Gojo. Gojo has a ton of cursed energy, which he can pull off Hollow Purple and Domain Expansion Limitless Void. However, we already use Gojo for abilities, we cannot use him for cursed energy. Another character that we should consider as a candidate is Sukuna, who is the king of curses and has the most cursed energy of all the Jujutsu sorcerers. But again, I am saving Sukuna for a later trait. But for our third and final candidate that I'm definitely picking is Rika. Rika has boundless cursed energy, and it was stated by Yuta that she has infinite cursed energy. Our character now has the cursed energy of Rika. Now our character will need an insane, powerful domain expansion, and this is what I've been waiting to use Sukuna for. Sukuna's Malevolent Shrine is gotta be the most powerful domain expansion in the entire series, as this domain expansion cuts the target into millions of pieces until they're literally dust. And since we have Gojo's abilities, I guess we get Gojo's Limitless Void domain expansion as our second domain expansion. No, because this is actually insane. Because our character has two domain expansions of the strongest characters in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe. If you don't know what Unlimited Void does, it distorts space, making Gojo untouchable. Our character now has the domain expansions of Sukuna and Gojo. Now, our character will need a cursed technique. And I think all of the good ones have been taken, except for this one candidate that I'm picking. Geto's Cursed Technique, Cursed Spirit Manipulation. With this, our character can control thousands of cursed spirits all at once and make his own army of cursed spirits to fight for him. Our character now has the cursed techniques of Geto. Finally, for our final trait to make the strongest character in Jujutsu Kaisen universe is race. And I mean, we either have humans or cursed spirits. And cursed spirits are way better than humans. I mean, they can literally shapeshift and regenerate with ease. Our character's race is a cursed spirit. And there it is, the strongest character in Jujutsu Kaisen universe. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below on what character do you think could be the strongest character in Jujutsu Kaisen.